everyone.
What's up guys, Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have the newly revealed Avengers roster lineup for the next MCU project, that there being What If Season 2. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. Now, the upcoming release of What If Season 2 will feature a team of Avengers that is new for the show in some ways, and familiar to other MCU fans than others. The second season of the MCU's first animated Disney Plus origin show premieres on December 22nd this year, with one episode releasing each day through December 30th. We're a couple weeks away from it at this point, so it's ramping up and we're getting hyped for it, and we're talking about it and discussing it here on the channel, breaking it all down. All the more reason to grab that subscribe button if you haven't already. This project is going to mark the first time that the MCU is using this release schedule for a single project as well. This is one of those two shows to see experimentation and how it's released over the next couple of months, with Echo being the MCU's first live-action Disney Plus show that have all 5 of its episodes released at once. So having a bit of a different release strategy going on there as well is very interesting and cool to see nonetheless. So on the poster for What If Season 2, we can tell kind of the Avengers lineup there. From there, many of the characters, key characters that are going to be appearing and showing up throughout the show, or Season 2 of the show. One of the several scenes teased from the show's new roster of Avengers for this project of the MCU, seemingly inspired by the team of the 2012 Avengers. But who exactly is going to make up this new team? For starters, we have Captain Carter, or Peggy Carter, played by Haley Atwell. The Captain Carter variant of Peggy Carter debuted in the first episode of What If back in 2021, and she also appeared in the big screen in the next year, 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This first season's post-credit scene, which set up a plot for her and Steve Rogers, seemingly inspired by Captain America the Winter Soldier, indicates a continuation of the specific version of the character in Season 2. Whether of what that version is both the one in a potential new Winter Soldier story, or the one from the new roster of Avengers, remains to be seen. That there being said, that brings us to our second character of this Avengers lineup, for being Wasp. The Wasp who appears in the new poster is a bit of a mystery. In the poster, she's not wearing the classic yellow hued suit seen in Season 1 of What If, and in Hope Van Dyne's other appearances in the MCU, for the most part, the red hued suit indicates that perhaps the Wasp of this new Avengers team-up could be her mother actually, Janet Van Dyne. This would actually make a lot more sense though, as in the Marvel Comics, Janet's Wasp was one of the original Avengers, and on the iconic cover for the group's first team-up, she is wearing a red tinted suit like the one in What If. And while we can't exactly tell 100% on which variant of Wasp this is supposed to be, only time will tell. And that brings us to our third addition to the Avengers in What If Season 2, that there being Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff had a lot of story focus in What If's first season, with one version of the character ending up in a universe of where Hank Pym had killed her counterpart alongside with other original Avengers of that Earth, besides Steve Rogers. It was kind of like an apocalypse almost. As much of it is more likely than not that the Black Widow on Season 2's poster is not the Black Widow who's currently fighting Loki in the mostly Avengerless world, as other characters on this list are dead in an alternate universe. It gets a bit confusing, but this is just a new variant of Black Widow. That brings us to our next edition of this Avengers lineup, Iron Man, Tony Stark. The appearance of Iron Man in this new poster is a main indication that the universe shown might not be the one of where Captain Carter originates from. In that world, Steve Rogers operated a version of Ironmonger's suit developed by Howard Stark and takes on that role of Tony Stark in a way. As such, it would be odd to see if Iron Man in that world was technically at the same place as his MCU counterpart by the events of the first Avengers in 2012, as there were several additional decades to develop the suit technology in Captain Carter's world than in the MCU's main timeline. The technology should theoretically be far more advanced at that. Although, going off on a limb, I would believe this to actually be the same variant of Tony Stark that we see in What If Season 1. It brings us to our next edition of this Avengers roster, that there being Thor. Thor's most notable appearance in What If is Season 1, of what it would have been like if Thor was, well, an only child. Given the lack of context for the characters in the poster and what they're actually fighting as well, it's hard to say how Thor got involved, but regardless, his inclusion on the team makes sense. Like Tony Stark, he was both the original roster of comic Avengers and original roster of MCU Avengers. It's kind of just makes sense. It brings us to our next edition of this Avengers roster, also being the final one, that there being Hawkeye, Clint Barton. Rounding out the new roster is Clint Barton's Hawkeye through animation. This marks the character's first new appearance since his 2021 show, which aired soon after What If's first season. In this new poster, he doesn't look particularly different from how he did in the 2012's Avengers, but more about what makes his character different from his MCU counterpart will certainly come with time and context. This year all being said, this new Avengers roster combines the original 6 Avengers from the MCU and this original 5 from the Marvel Comics, and a special What If twist, which is fitting for the show, of course. What If is a show that's based on a comic series of the same name, actually, an anthology of stories from other universes where one difference led to a butterfly effect, essentially, of more and more changes. Thus, it makes sense to see a team with the 4 original MCU Avengers, 3 original Marvel Comics Avengers, and one that brings into the lore development of What If's first season, just a little bit more. This year all being said, What If Season 2 is premiering on Disney Plus on December 22nd, with 1 new episode releasing each day through December 30th, probably your winter break. This all being said, guys, I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking in the comment section down below. What do you guys want to see with What If Season 2? Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace out.